Moving on, we have another trade in the NBA. The Sixers trade Jahlil Okafor to the Brooklyn Nets. Jahlil Okafor was drafted by the Sixers in 2015 with the number 3 pick. Okafor, he was a solid post and interior scorer, but he never really showed any glimpses of developing a modern game. You know, he's not really a great defender, he's not really a great shooter, he can't really pass the ball that well. But however, with the emergence of Joel Embiid, the Sixers sort of ignored, and instead of giving Jahlil Okafor an opportunity, he was relegated to the bench. You know, this season he's barely even played for the Sixers. He only played in 2 games, and that too for 12.6 minutes, which made him expendable to the Sixers. Like, Jahlil Okafor has a great offensive skill set, like no doubt about it. Like, he's very good in the low post. You get him in the low post, and he'll get you some buckets. But the problem is the Sixers really just ignored him and forgot about that he was there because of how good Joel Embiid was. So now they're like, well, we don't really need you anymore. Like, we only drafted you because we thought Joel was going to be injury prone. He wasn't going to be as good as we thought he would be. But now Joel's amazing, so we don't really need you anymore. So now, the only issue with what the Sixers did to Jahlil was that he was not able to showcase himself at all, which left the Sixers with trade offers until he was traded, with no trade offers, until he was traded to Brooklyn. So the Sixers were trying to, get a deal going. They wanted even a second-round pick for Jahlil. They wanted a team to trade a second-round pick. But the problem is the Sixers were stupid, and I mean, obviously I like Brett Brown as a coach, but I feel like he made a mistake because he didn't even showcase Okafor at all. Like, Okafor didn't even get to play. He sat out so many games that, like, he was basically not even given a shot to showcase to a team that, hey, if you can give me a shot and I may be able to do well, maybe able to improve. Like, Okafor is only in his second or third year I believe in the NBA, and I feel like he wasn't given a fair shot to actually showcase himself and truly be a better player than we thought he would be. So that's the problem, and the Sixers were not able to get any trade offers until Brooklyn came along. And now, speaking of this trade with Brooklyn, this trade includes Jahlil Okafor, Nick Stauskas, and a 2019 second-round pick going to Brooklyn for Trevor Booker heading to the Sixers. For the Sixers, they actually overpaid as they were asking for a second-round pick for Okafor, and instead they had to give up a pick and Nick Stauskas for Trevor Booker. Now, it was the right move. Booker is a win-now player who can be an actual contributor for the Sixers. He's scoring like 10 points per game on 6.6 rebounds, so he's a great contributor. And his first game with the Sixers, I read an article that he flew from New Mexico City to Houston to New York, and then drove there to Philly. From Philly, he flew to Cleveland to play against the Cavaliers, and which was, I believe, yesterday. And he balled out. Like, he dropped like 12 points and 8 boards in his first game with the Sixers without even having to practice with them. So I feel like he was a great pickup for the Sixers. As for the Nets, I feel like they did a better job in this trading for Okafor, as not only do they have the potential of Okafor being a good player, but they also got Stauskas in the deal, who I feel will fit in well in Kenny Atkinson's modern day system. But in case things do not work out, they have a second round pick they can use on another prospect. So they're basically set for the future. Not only do the Sixers have the number 2 pick in the 2015 draft in DeAngelo Russell, now they have the number 3. So the Nets, have a lot of young talent. Now, do I think Okafor will do well? I really do. I think Okafor is going to have a better opportunity. I feel like Kenny Atkinson will be able to work better with Okafor. I think Okafor is just going to like the fresh opportunity to play in a system where he can maybe shine or maybe get a chance to showcase what he can do. So I like this trade for the Nets. I feel like the Nets and the Sixers both did a great trade. I feel like this is something that helps both sides, helps everyone involved. It not only helps the Sixers, they got rid of Jahlil, they got a serviceable bench piece, but it also helps the Brooklyn Nets because the Nets now get a young asset in Jahlil Okafor and Nick Stauskas, and they get a draft pick for the future, which they always need. And finally, Jahlil Okafor is also happy because he finally gets to play basketball, which is something that he wants to do. So overall, solid trade for me. I like it, and I look forward to seeing what Jahlil Okafor can do for the Brooklyn Nets moving forward.